Good morning, one and all. It's here. Transfer deadline day was meant to be one of the most exciting days of the year, unless you're a Spurs fan.
Are you not excited? Are you not excited, Brian?
Let me just say, James, Johnny, sorry. If I had an emotion to say right now, excitement isn't one of it. It is a long day for the footballing world. It's going to be a great day on Tottenham on tour in our transfer deadline day bonanza. And we're starting with Cockerel Doodle. So first of all, we welcome our guest. David is back from Tottenham. David, how are you, sir?
I'm very well, mate. I'm very well. How are you used to?
I'm okay. Johnny, you ready for today?
To be honest with you, I was so excited last night to get a sedative ready for the morning because I didn't want to wake up with all this excitement and not be able to control myself. So I'm suppressed. I'm very calm and just excited about the day ahead because I know there's so much to look forward to, as always.
I mean, we're going to break everything down. What I will say first of all is there's already
take us long.
There's already 73 people in here. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to try and get on the quest today. We're at 6,770. Let's see if we can sit at 7,000 today.
Let's get liking today, guys.
Let's do it. But first of all, we're going to say hello to everyone in the chat. Then we'll break down yesterday's. I'm going to break down yesterday's wonderful.
That's tomorrow, Brian. That's tomorrow.
I'm going to break down what happened yesterday, and then we'll discuss what will be happening today. So big up, Lily White Lane. I hope you're good, brother. Hennessy, always a pleasure to see you. Carl Higgins, how are we, sir? Walls Fee, big morning, Jesus Christ, good morning to you. Dan E, you'll be coming on one of the shows later on for sure. Looking forward to that. Sander Mulligan, full ball, R. Kelly to Spurs. I wouldn't put it past Levy. Ian, big up, brother. I hope you're good. I hope you're well. James, I've already been speaking to. I'll see you later. My brother from Finland, who comes over for the protest. Big up, Jonas. Bold Spur is in the house. Mark Woodland, Stephen Galen. Big morning. Where's it? Big morning with me. Benjamin Foster. It's all the excitement. Graham Hill, Angelo Tyro, Drula is here. My brother from Sweden. P is here. Who else we got? Warrior without a master is in the house. James Joris, Gary O'Neill. Tequila, big up Tequila. Full ball. I've already said hello to you. I'll say it again. Kate, big up Kate, darling. Wayne, Norman, as always. Colin is here. Hope you're well. MZ, who I think may be here to see the guest. Branka, Pixels. Who else is in here? Tottenham away. Big up my brothers on Tottenham away. Everyone give them a like and subscribe as well. Paul Brown. Good morning, Kate, who I will see later on today. Anyone is welcome to come on today. So if you want to, just reach out to me. Andy T, the Bertie Hotspur, Jason Nunn. Right. Let's break down. Oh, and Corey has just joined. Big up, Corey. Good morning, sir. I'm going to just break down the 24 hours because when I came on Cockerel Doodle yesterday and joined by all you lovely people, the news we were hearing was we were making our first bid. Remember that our first bid for our number one target from Harry Kane, we hadn't even bid for, was going to be our first bid for Brennan Johnson. A few hours later, we were poised to make our move.
Were we not interested, Brian?
No, I was trying to work out if that's before creeping, flirting, attempting, contacting. I was trying to work it out. There's too many steps.
We haven't even got to personals yet.
No. So we got there. Then it was at lunchtime. Talks are ongoing with Brennan Johnson. Then it was the deal might fall through. Then it was Regi to United. Tanganga going somewhere. We know it's Germany now. Højbjerg may have been going to Fulham. And then to wrap up this lovely day, to wrap it up and bring us right from there to where we normally lined with this nonsense. The game-changing stadium, the massive income coming in from the club, the Harry Kane money, Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth on the final year of his contract. I mean, yesterday was just pathetic. David, what was your breakdown on yesterday?
I agree with what you say, mate. It was a bit pathetic. You know what I mean? My main worry about all this is, and I said this ages ago, that we've been waiting for us to sort our defence out. We kind of got that sorted. At one point, we needed a midfield. We were trying to sort that. Now it's our attack, and yet all we've been linked with is midfielders. There's only been one striker that we've been linked with through this window, and it's a big worry because we've seen we are very weak up at that point. Do you know what I mean? And now we're linked with more midfielders, wingers, and we're linked with one defender who can't even get proper game time at Bournemouth. So, it's a worry if we end this window without going for at least a striker. For me personally.
Yep, Johnny.
But
Before
sorry, just to
No,
jump
go on,
on
David.
something. It just come out now. Apparently, Brendan Johnson has agreed terms with us.
He will. Listen,
Okay.
Brendan Johnson will sign today. I've got it on very good authority that he will sign, and the fee is roughly around 30 million. Forget the monies that you've been told. I've been told that Spurs have never at any stage been willing to commit 50 or 40 million pounds, 30 million pound. 30 million pound, I can accept. But let's be serious, guys, okay? As I've said, I believe this window is a 3 out of 10. And people say I'm being very harsh. The reason I say it's 3 out of 10 is because, like what you were saying, David, right?
Actually, Johnny, before you do that, let me just say, people in the comments, just put, like Johnny said, it's a 3 out of 10. Whack in right here, right now, what you think this window is out of 10. Go on, Johnny, carry on.
Because the reason I'm saying that is this fan base want to get rid of Højbjerg. They want to get rid of this one. They want to get rid of that one. Okay, so we get rid of Højbjerg. We've already seen that Oliver Skipp is not up to it. So we get an injury to Basuma or Saab. You want to play Oliver Skipp in midfield? See what happens. You want to see what happens when Mickey van der Ven gets injured? See what happens, okay? Want to see what happens when the goalkeeper gets injured? See what happens. Want to know what happens when Regi, who isn't firing, or Song get injured or go to Asian Championship? See what happens, right? This is my issue, right? Depth. I'm not saying that some of the signings haven't been good because they are good, right? They are good. The signings are good, but this is not the way you invest the money that we got from Harry Kane. There's more that can have been done. Definitely.
Johnny, quickly, with Johnson, there's been a couple of people say it, but there's one right here, right now from my man George. What you've heard from your guys, is there any players involved, or are we talking cash?
Well, originally I was told it was 25 million plus a player, but that seems to have gone down the wayside now, unless Oliver Skipp's going.
Oh, mate. So you think this? A lot of people agree. The highest I've seen now is a whopping 5.
Yeah,
that's the highest I've seen from Tequila.
I was told I was being very harsh. That three was extremely harsh.
No, see, when you think about it, Johnny, you're correct because you know what I mean. It's the depth that's the biggest worry. I mean, Basuma and Saad, they go to AFCON in January.
Correct.
Højbjerg goes. Who we're left with? Bentancur is going to be injured until after January. So we're going to have no midfield. You know what I mean? So yeah, I completely agree with you.
But there was a comment made there before, and I think we have to put this into perspective, right?
Cool. Yeah.
Kelly, a lot of you might not know this, but Kelly was actually very much of interest to Spurs and Arsenal 4 years ago. I think it was around about 20 years of age, okay?
Yep.
As a utility player, centre back and left back, he can play. Okay, so maybe that's the thinking why Region's gone. I know Brian will be over the moon, jumping up and down this window because Clement Longgap won't be coming. But Kelly did have talent, right? For me, he'll never be anything other than average. When I say average, is that fair? He's very, very quick, which will enable him to play in this system, which Longley definitely isn't. He definitely isn't that. And he's got a year left in his contract. I think Bournemouth paid 13 or 14 million pounds for him 4 years ago. So with a year left on his contract, again, another bargain bucket buy. Bella Koch has just come up for free. So,
well, first of all, I just want to talk about what you said with Kelly. Now, the thing is, now I speak on behalf of me, and obviously, I don't know if people can agree with me and say what they did. What I took great anger, or what gave me cause for great anger with Kelly yesterday, is if we'd signed this at the beginning of the window, if this had been done early when we were just getting our team assembled, no problem. After James said, don't look at it when we're going cheap. You people want us to go down this model, and when we do it, so there's that. But the fact that it's come where we're meant to be going for Johnson, big money, big money, big money, big money. We're meant to be making the team stronger, and then all of a sudden, the day he doesn't help himself. The day before the deadline closes, a random nobody who could be something could. But you got to remember what people do have to keep remembering. I'm not bitching about this because of this window. This has been the same MO, window after window, season after season. Whereas we're going for this one, we're going for this one. Forget the cost. Brennan Johnson was in a position that apparently, and Postecoglou has said he wanted, and if he does, I'm all with it. It's a player he identified as the number one target after Kane. It's the player that people are saying because he's got the speed and everything that he's an Ange. So I get, but then just to go all the way from there, and then on the final day of the window, for us to remember, game-changing stadium. This was going to be the time where things were different, and now the manager. Remember, the manager. We're listening this time because the manager has come in, and this is his. I think Levy's now on his fifth last chance, from what I remember, his fifth last chance. So when it goes from there, and from what I checked out on him, he has a horrific injury record. Horrific.
Well, that's perfect for us, Brian. What do you mean? We like to sign people with previous injuries.
That's true, but like I said, I welcome. In fact, I don't understand why with Ange here, why we haven't tapped into the Far East market. I would, if we signed a £2 million player today from the Far East, you won't hear a word from me apart from positivity. We've tapped into a resource that we've got an advantage on. But to go from the Brennan Johnsons, the Gift Orbans, to this, to that.
What does that tell you, though, Brian?
It's scattergun. It's scattergun again.
No, but what does this tell you? You see, what's worrying me, and please don't think I'm Ange bashing, because I'm really not. Right?
You haven't
I
been.
want this guy to be supported. What is going on? Has he succumbed already to Levy and ENIC and to the board? Because I don't understand. All we're told is his amazing ability to identify talent. What have we seen? Because all the talent that's been identified so far has been from Paratici, Gabonini, and Scolding, not from him himself. And like you said, Brian, quite rightly, had you brought in a Jota, I think people might have been a little bit more excited.
Exactly.
You know, he's played under Ange. You know, we could say that's an Ange signing. That's an Ange request. Or a Hatate, right? That would be an Ange ball signing. But this is not. This is so left field. I was expecting a left field signing, like a surprise that would get the fans' juices flowing.
Like a Van der Vaart.
Yeah.
And at the blue, come out
correct.
and...
not a guy who I thought they were talking about, Lloyd Grossman. I wasn't sure, like, or was it Gene Kelly? I caught the end.
I went with Lorraine Kelly. Lorraine
Kelly. But hey ho.
But David, before I come to you about this, got a super chat here from a great supporter of the channel, James Joris. Start the morning off right. Support for you, Brian. Big up to you and your YouTube Spurs family. Levy out. Cheers, James. It's going to be, listen, us YouTubers today, this is the busiest day of the year, or the second, because of the January one. So yeah, it's going to be a long day. Hopefully it will bear some fruit, although I think it will be rotten fruit. David, what's your thought when you heard about Lloyd Kelly? In all seriousness, do you know anything about him as a player? Do you welcome the deal? Where do you stand?
Well, I had no idea about him personally. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's not like I sit there and watch every player in the league. Once obviously I heard we linked, I had a look about him and stuff. The only thing that I could really find was one YouTube compilation. And I Googled his stats, things like that. And The only thing that's kind of promising in my eyes is he's a left-footed centre-back and he's pretty much just slightly slower than Van der Ven. That's it. I mean, I've even seen Bournemouth fans not wanting him there. What does that tell you? Tottenham Hotspur, the you know what I mean, ninth richest club in the world, you know what I mean, and we're going for a Bournemouth reject who their own fans don't even want him. When you've got players out there that we've got the money to buy, but as always, we're refusing to do, and we're looking at cheaper options who will end up going out on loan because we can't get rid of them, just like the likes of Rodon and that. Now, I love Rodon, being Welsh, do you know what I mean? But he was never a right fit. He never got game time, and look at him now. He's constantly out on loan because we can't sell him.
Correct. Just got to get through a couple of super chats. First of all, a super sticker from David all the way in Australia, basically saying, hi, So hi, David. Thank you for your support as always, mate. We really appreciate it. All you Australians here, I don't even know how the time zone or time frame works for transfer deadline day. I think it'll be during the time that you normally would sleep. But if you're up, Tottenham on tour will be up and running pretty much all day. And then from Jake, this is a good, I mean, Colin is in here, so I'll get Colin can put an answer in here. If Johnson, etc., are Ange's top targets, and we are waiting till the 11th hour to put bids in for these players, my hunch is these aren't Ange's top targets. Johnny?
Do you need to even say anything? I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? It's obvious. I mean, look, you know, when you have a top target, like Basuma was our top target last year, you got it done. Madison was our top target, we got it done. And as the big man said himself, we've known right from the off that he was going. Okay, so if you know where he's going, you would have got all your business done before you sold him to Bayern Munich, not got taken to the cleaners and people know you've got 100 million in the bank and get your prices pumped up, and have got it done. And Brennan Johnson, sorry, not Brenda. We probably have signed Brenda. Would have been on the plane to Australia with all the others and given Ange time to blend them all in. The truth is, do we need another winger more than we need another striker? But I was told, like I said to you last week, or maybe a bit longer ago than that, that he wanted a utility front man who can play across the front. So it's madness. It's madness.
It is. David, what do you think about Jake's comment?
Yeah, I agree with it, to be fair. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Brennan Johnson. Kind of biased because I'm Welsh, but I've watched him a lot, and he's a very versatile player. He can play across the front three. He can play as an attacking midfielder. Do I think it's the right signing for us and priority? Not at all. I agree with Johnny. We don't need a winger. I mean, we've got Brian Hill who needs to come back. Perisic is still here. He can play as a winger. You could, if you wanted to, you could bang Porro up there. For me, it's striker and centre-back and another midfielder should have been priority. But as always, we always get left weak in areas. We've seen it year after year after year. There's always an area on that pitch that is always weak.
Yep. And do you know what Colin's put here, and it's true if this happens. If we get him for 30 after Forest turned down 43, then there will be some praise that needs to go to the board for getting a deal done compared to the time that they did. But Colin, what I would love to do, Colin, reach out to me on social media if you want to, because if it does happen, I would love to get you on the show to talk about Brennan Johnson, because this man has been, like I said, my Fabrizio Romano when it comes to
Colin, I just wanted to say, sorry, Colin, just to back you up, because I know you're a massive fan of Johnson, and you know who's we to say that he's not going to go on and become fantastic. You know, the likelihood he's going to become the next Gareth Bale is far too much for me. You know, Gareth Bale, I thought was set for stardom at 17 when I saw him at Southampton, but the same with Madison, where people were reporting that we paid well over £40 million for him. But, you know, the fact is we got rid of Winks, we got rid of his wage, we got rid of his commitment and traded it off and ended up paying £30 million, which I believe with that and the deal for James Ward-Prowse are probably the two best deals done in the transfer window. If we do get Johnson for 30 million, I think it's a reasonable deal. I think it's a reasonable deal in the transfer market. I don't think it's cheap.
30 million. If we go on for 30, if the whole talk had been about 30 million, not 50 million from the start, I don't think the widespread debate that everyone's been having would be having it. Just got another couple of super chats to go through and then we'll get back. Michael Hellman, big up Michael. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. This club is going dumpster diving and no PR firm can spin it any other way. I'm sick of these tactics. Levy out. And this is what I've been saying. Many others still, everyone. This is just rinse and repeat. That's the thing. Why, if this was a one-time thing and we hadn't acted this way before, I don't think any of us, no matter where you stand on the board, will be fretting, panicking, getting stressed, going mad, being very vocal. But it's just the same thing over and over again. And it's literally, we're going through boy who cried wolf syndrome, really, aren't we? I'll go to you first, David.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? It's if it was a one-time thing, like you said, mate, you know what I mean? No one would be having an issue. But we've seen this before, yeah? Like these links to Conor Gallagher and stuff like that, yeah? It's Levy. It's what he does. He does it every window where he'll sit there, go for a completely unrealistic target at the price range, and majority of the fan base will load it up like, oh my God, we're going for the... We went for, who was it? Skriniar. We went for, who's that interplayer left centre back? I can't remember his name. I never can remember his name. But we went for him. Bastoni, that's it. They were never coming. There was not even an inkling that they were going to come because they're unrealistic targets. You know what I mean? These are ones who want to play in Champions League football. These are ones who want to be in clubs who want to compete. Do you look like Tottenham want to compete? I mean, look at that. Look at our last game against Fulham. Did we look like we wanted to compete for a trophy? Not even in the slightest. Yep. And it's just another window where Levy will send out his little PRs, send out that we're going for this person, that person, and we'll end up with this Lloyd Kelly, and that's probably it.
Yep, like I said, this is the thing. We've got another super chat to go through. Let's just do that one from Adrian. Big up, Adrian. I hope you're well. We are screwed if no signings come in as window closes because we won't sign anyone in January. Given Spurs, I always say January is a tough window as selling clubs ask for more. He's bang on the money. And what we've got to remember is we've got Son, Pape Matar and Basuma that will be leaving for 3 to 4 weeks of it.
Yeah.
So then we're even weaker. But
let's sell Højbjerg. Let's sell anyone who's worth anything because we can get some money in. But let's not replace them. I mean, I see all these fans saying we've got to sell Højbjerg. We've got to. No, we don't. Yeah, but he was terrible against Fulham. Oh yeah, he had a bad game. He didn't have a great game. Right. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to sell him, right? I'd rather have Højbjerg and Basuma and Højbjerg and Sarr, I'm sorry, than Oliver Skip, okay? That's it in a nutshell. We should be getting rid of Skip and bringing in. What we should have done was sell Skip and bring in Alex Scott and put him in our squad. That's what you do, the next generation of fantastic talent, because Alex Scott's going to be 50, 60 million, and then we'll be saying, oh, we can't afford him. He was a huge Spurs fan. This is what his club does. Messes up after the event. Right now, I mean, I've gone from elation to someone's come out and actually burst my bubble completely. I allowed myself for the first time in 4 years to get excited and allowed myself to buzz for Spurs, especially after the Man U game and, Bournemouth. And I'm thinking, wow, 7 points, 3 games. How much better could it get? And then you go to Fulham and he makes nine changes. Never in my life as a coach of kids have I ever made more than about 3 or 4 changes, let alone 9. And then we get spun I'm trying to see what my players look like. No, you didn't, Ange. This is where I'm starting to worry. He's already fallen under the spell of Daniel and the crap. So there must be pressure being exerted from above, is what I'm worried about. I really am worried about it, because it all smacks of what? I mean, what financial gain is there to us going out of a cup competition? What gain is there? That's why everyone's having to go out on loan, because we've gone out of the cup. If we'd have stayed in the cup, Dane Scarlett would not be out on loan. Simple.
Do you know what? I completely forgot. Let's switch from Johnson. I was about to call him. I was about to say Brennan Gallagher. Gallagher is now apparently back on the table. From what someone told me,
it hasn't been off the table, Brian.
So no, but what I heard yesterday was he was at the Spurs training ground yesterday.
Listen,
it's something that I.
Listen. The Palmer deal was the crucial thing. Palmer was we weren't even
He's coming with Damiel. He's coming with Damiel today. Today is the day, I've been told. Damiel and him coming from
I just see William climbing out the window. Apparently he's going to another club.
But yeah, as you're saying, back to Gallagher. I heard he was at the training ground yesterday. Johnny, what do you think? Does this still make sense to you? Are you happy? Is it 50 million? Would you be happy?
No, listen, right, look, I'll tell you, if Højbjerg's going, then it's fine with me, Gallagher. For me, though, Gallagher has not reproduced his form from Palace. If you could get him to reproduce that Palace form, then great. He's very busy. Again, he's young. He keeps the homegrown number, and he's definitely better than Oliver Skipp. But his game seems to have changed slightly for Chelsea under Pochettino. He doesn't seem to be the Gallagher that gets forward all the time. I wouldn't complain if we sold Højbjerg. If we sell Højbjerg, you have to have a replacement. That, for me, would be a reasonable upgrade or a reasonable parallel for a young player that's still got potential to develop. So I would take Gallagher all day long.
Okay. David, what about yourself?
Yeah, I agree with Johnny. Do you know what I mean? If we were to sell Højbjerg, you know what I mean, Gallagher's not exactly a bad replacement. I mean, it gives us a lot of movement in that midfield. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously we're going to have Bentancur back, and we know for the fact that, you know, after an injury like that and being out so long, he's not coming back to how he was pre-injury. That's not going to happen. He's going to have to change his game up. He's going to be a bit more worried. I mean, you look at Van Dijk when he got his. He is not the same player. You know what I mean? Yep. So to add someone like Gallagher in there, who is a workhorse. I mean, if you watch his games, albeit his form has been off quite a bit at Chelsea, but he is a workhorse. He will run all game. And we kind of need that in the midfield. Whereas Skipp, if you watch Skipp's game, he's more like stands around waiting for the ball. Whereas a player like Gallagher goes to get the ball. Do you know what I mean? So I'd like it. I wouldn't be against it. I'd be happy with it. I just think, is it going to happen? Probably not. But yeah, I'd be happy if it was to happen and we got rid of Højbjerg. But I'd prefer Skipp going over Højbjerg, like Johnny said.
Yeah, I mean, I agree again with what John said. If we had bought him straight after his loan at Palace, I think minus the Chelsea links, Spurs fans would have been a lot happier than they are now. Obviously, had a bad season, as everyone did at Chelsea. I think he could potentially become a very good player. Is he 50 million? Hell no. But then you say that. How much was it they bought Cole Palmer for? Was it 42.5 million?
Yeah, I think Cole Palmer's a really good player. I mean, the fact that we weren't interested in him is, for me, is baffling, and it's also
because he's quality.
Yeah, but it's baffling me that he's gone from Man City to sit on the bench to go for an 8-year contract at Chelsea to sit on the bench and fight with 47 other midfielders they've got. Where are they storing them all? Chelsea, have they got a holding pen or something? I mean, has anyone counted up how many they got? Because what will happen is when the transfer window will close, Saudi Arabia, who aren't related or connected with Chelsea whatsoever or Clear Lake Capital, will come along and buy up. Now, how many do you need to get rid of? 18. Okay, we'll take all 18 from you.
Okay, one second. Being Abhishek, is
I'd
that
love
confirmed?
this. I'd love
If this deal starts getting done, now we're talking.
What did I say
No.
to you, Brian? That it fallen
No,
through before we came on air?
You did say it earlier, but if this had been announced rather than a Lloyd Kelly, for example, you start getting excited. You start thinking, okay, this makes sense. You start thinking how we are. I mean, if this move comes off, although
my transfer numbers go up. My window numbers go up.
Exactly, but I have to say as well, the third word in that message is the one that scares the crap out of me.
Could be off.
No, considering, when Spurs are considering, that's okay. Let's put a feeler out and see how long.
Last day of the window.
I'll be honest with you, Brian. I'm considering a relationship with Shakira.
That's the thing. And I have to say, I've just saw someone put a message in there. They are here from India, so I just wanted to say, there you go. Anurag, hello, good morning, welcome from India. I don't know what the time is in India, but stick with us today. We are going on a mammoth one today. We will be with you on and off. Basically, the plan is once we finished here today at 10 o'clock, Johnny is coming to get me. We are going to our mate and fellow Tottenham.
We're coming to get him to take him away.
Yes, we're going on a day trip. We're going on location. We're going to Ben's Coffee House, where we're going to be there for the entire window. And we're going to be going live throughout the day. 3 hours here, an hour here. We'll obviously take a little break here and there. Less breaking news comes. We are going to have you covered. And I'm just going to have a quick check because, once again, the support of the channel recently has been massive. And this channel is absolutely nothing without the people that come in and watch and tune in and participate. And right now, we are over 400 people in the chat. And I'm just going to do a quick roll call to see, quick check on how we're doing and what the conversion rate is. And the conversion rate on this transfer deadline day is we are at 101. We're at 25%. That is Daniel Levy's first offer for a player. Let's get it up to the final offer and let's try and get to 200. 200 would be amazing for the channel. And we've just got another super chat. We've now got two super chats in. Tequila 316, big up my brother, to ease the pain of tonight's disappointment. Yep. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll table all these super chats.
Did you say? Sorry, I don't know if I heard correctly. Did you say we had 20? How many people are in the room?
402 right now.
402, and we got how many likes?
101.
Wow.
101.
Guys, you're tighter than Daniel Levy's wallet.
Well,
it doesn't even hurt. It won't even cost you any money.
Well, this is why we're going to put all these super chats together to get the extra money to put in a bid for Gift Orban. We'll go, here you go, Daniel. Here's the extra X amount of money. You can go get the deal done now. And then finally another one from David Sher with the two most beautiful words put next to each other. Levy out. So talking of out, you see what I'm doing there? Let's talk outgoings. I'm getting so professional at this hosting malarkey. I'm so proud of myself. Outgoing.
Brian, are you freezing? David, can you see Brian freezing a bit?
A little bit, yeah, but it's fine.
Are you being serious? Don't give me internet issues now.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That's well, you're not so much freezing. It's added a good look to you now. It's a bit arty.
Oh, wicked. Well, listen, let's talk outgoings very quickly. I want to talk about Reguilon to start with. We'll go through them one by one. Now, Reguilon, this is why I get annoyed with this club as well. Listen, do I think he doesn't have a future? It's looking that way. But we've gone from a club where money's coming in and everything. Then we've gone from we have to sell to buy. And now we're just giving players away with no loan fee. And giving them a 6-month termination clause just in case Luke Shaw comes back so they can go, yeah, you can piss off now. We've got what we can out of you. I don't understand how we've gone from the game-changing stadium and money coming in to, yes, we have to sell to buy, to, here you go, rival, have a player. Johnny?
Listen, I only thought the two players could play in Angie's system from our deadwood, so to speak, and that was Gio and Reguilon. I know a lot of people don't like Regi, but basically he come from Real Madrid for 32 million as a left back. Okay, I thought he was progressing okay, and then came a manager who wanted to play as a wing back. He's not a wing back. He's then gone to Simeone, who really rates him, who's all about defence. We all know what Simeone is like with his obsession with defending. He's gone to Atletico. He's played a few games. He's got injured, gone into hospital for a routine operation, and got a horrific bacterial virus inside the hospital. We've all read about them. And he was literally seriously ill, not a little bit ill, and he was out for months. That game against Barcelona was his first near 90 minutes that he's had in a year. So for me, it's baffling that Davis and Cheese Strings are considered better options as a replacement or a backup for Destiny. Let me tell you, having watched Fulham this week, and seen Davis in the first 30 minutes, 4 straight passes, 2 completely missed tackles. It was horrific. Not even step up for a penalty. The guy shouldn't be anywhere near that team, and unless in an emergency. I can only think in my head that he's gone there to get minutes till January. I mean, it's looking like Man United have got that clause in because Shaw will be back by then. Or is it Spurs looking to hope he plays really well, gets the minutes in, and then we sell him? Or are we looking to bring him back into the fold and sell Cheese Strings in January? Sorry, Sessignon.
Weetabix. You call him Cheese Strings, I call him Weetabix.
Cheesy hamstrings.
There we go. What's your thoughts on Reguilón, David?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you know, technically, if you want to see it, right, United are our rivals for the spot we obviously hope to finish this season. You know, and what we've done is give them a player for basically nothing.
Yeah.
While they have players injured, so they could go spend their money on strengthening the position they need, which is midfield, because we know they're going for Amrabat, which I don't understand why we're not, because I think he's an absolute wonderful player. And yet we're getting nothing for it. There's no positive for us to do.
Well, there is, David. We're helping strengthen our rival. What better?
Well, exactly. Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? If we had a loan fee, whatever it was, 500 grand, a mil, whatever, yeah, right? Then you could say, okay, then we're getting a little bit of money for him. 6 months' time, he'll come back, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, he's literally gone for nothing. Sorry,
you got an appearance. Look, in true Tottenham style, the cat has creeped up on you. The cat has creeped up on you in true Tottenham style. John, I will let you know, I will get you to be a mod during the day today. One of the things I do, thank God, is I don't touch anything in the back end because I will just screw it up. If I just stay in front of the camera and speak. If I'm left in the back end, I'll probably kill the channel and we'll lose all of you. So there's no way. I put it this way: I'm not allowed to enter. It's like in Canada. There's a massive sweet shop called John Vince. There's about a 10-minute walk down from me, and you know, like the cinema pick and mix. It's like that, but just rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of the thing. My wife won't let me in there unattended. I walked in there once, and I thought I was doing a good pick and mix. I bought a big bag. I spent over $150. About £75 on jelly sweets. So she's like, "You're not going in." So yeah, it's kind of like that with the back end of YouTube.
Brian,
yeah.
Can I just say, mate, it's turning into a bit of a carry-on tonight. You know, I don't touch anything at the rear end or the back end. I mean, there's a lot of innuendos here today.
No, there is. And listen, it's an early day. It's a long day. So if we can't have a bit of fun, I mean, the one thing I do want to do with everyone today is 410 people in here now. Anytime.
Brian, who are the 10? Do you know the 10?
Who knows? Who knows? I haven't done the register. I'll get the register up later and have a look. But anyone hears any funny buzzwords, like Pipes was saying, poised was a new one for me yesterday. I hadn't heard that in all the transfer window. Have you heard any new ones recently, David? Or in the chat?
No, there was one. What was it? Oh, it was a funny one. I can't remember it. Sorry, but I swear these journos just use a word generator to pick up a new way of saying that we're basically doing nothing and trying to make it sound interesting. You know,
Yep.
and I can't wait until next summer when we have new ones. I mean, you can write a whole book.
Why wait till next summer when you can wait till January?
Yeah, but in January we never do anything really, do we? So,
Johnny, have you heard any new buzzwords? And I have to say, before you answer that question, David wants an update on Lord of the Flies.
Our sponsor.
good old raid.
Sponsor. David, honestly, if you saw it, it's absolute carnage here. There's thousands of deaths. Sky News were here now. They could be here all night, actually, reporting live from the scene of the death of the flies. Marty McFly has succumbed. Raid does kill, right? It doesn't kill them off. Unfortunately, this stuff, I mean, we can't get rid of the bald with this. This will not get rid of a bald. I'm still fighting the good fight. But there's still there's one low-flying fruit fly as we speak.
There we go. That's a new one. Still
another
pushing
one,
hard.
look, another innuendo. Still pushing hard.
There you go. Listen, mate.
What is going on this morning?
Do we call this carry on? Do we call this carry on Levy? Do we call this carry on deadline day? Carry on transfer day? Who knows? Next player we'll talk about, Japhet Tanganga. Now, I like this, but I honestly do like him. But I think we've let him down. His injuries haven't helped. But he's gone. Now, the thing that gets me annoyed with this as well is we're short on defenders, and we're letting two go before we bring one in. Why is it that every other club they bring in, like Mickey van der Ven? It took a month for them to get Mickey van der Ven's replacement in, and then we got the deal done. But we just let them go, and there's no players coming in. Oh, Lloyd Kelly may come in. Lorraine Kelly may be coming in. I mean, David, your thoughts on Tanganga going off, and apparently this one's got an option to buy.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with everyone here now and use. I haven't rated Tanganga for a while, and it was after he literally made mistakes. I think the reason it was is because at the time we had Rodon, and everyone was slating him when he didn't actually do anything wrong. Yet Tanganga in 4 games committed individually an error leading to goal consistently over the 4 games. I think we've allowed him not to be able to progress. I mean, he's been looking to leave for how long now? We've seen in the Paratici thing where, you know what I mean, he actually stopped the move. A team wanted him. I think it was Milan. A team wanted him. They were pushing for him, and he stopped because we were short in defence and we needed numbers for depth. What's changed now? We're short in defence and we still need numbers for depth.
You know
so
what,
why
David?
now?
You know what, David? Just was going to ask you there, right? I mean, how must he feel, Tanganga? I do feel sorry for him because we've sort of held back his career and we've stopped moves to AC Milan, and now he's looking at going to Augsburg in Germany. It's hardly glamorous. It's hard, you know, you've gone from the San Siro to, you know, with greatest respect, not one of the top 3 or 4 clubs in Germany.
Yeah. For me, Johnny, is, you know, I think for him, and you got to give Tanganga for this. Whenever he's been put on the pitch, he's always gave his best. Yeah, that's one thing he can say. He's always gave his best, and I think now in his head, he's like, "Look, I'm not going to get that move, and I just want to go and play football." You've got to respect him for that, regardless of how I feel about him or anyone else. You've got to give Tanganga respect. All he wants to do is play football. We've stopped that many times. And now he's got an opportunity, and even though it's not a big club, he can get out there and he can show people what he's about. And hopefully, in his head, he's probably thinking maybe in a year or two, a team like an AC Milan or someone like that in a big team in Europe might actually come and look at him, you know? And I think that's what maybe is going through his head. He just wants game time, and you've got to respect him for that.
I've got to say, though, you know, when I look at the price, okay, when I see Joe Rodon going for 12 million, right? The most miserable player I've ever seen, who scored an own goal at the weekend again, just for, you know, keep up his momentum. I don't get it, because 9 million euros or whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
what
6
is
million
that?
it comes to.
Yeah, but it's.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. It's not enough. I mean,
No.
look, even in this market, you know, for a young player, okay, 15 million. Okay, I will let him go for 9 million euros if we have a 20% sell-on fee.
Yeah.
Or there's some sort of rebuy in, because unless you're going to be clever, these deals come back to bite you in the arse, basically.
Yeah.
Because you can see him getting game time, improving, and being the player that we saw when he came on for Mourinho as a young kid against Liverpool as a right back and was man of the match.
I totally.
Sorry, Dave, I just want to say, first of all, to the 412 people that are in here, another thing I want to thank you for is obviously, you know, in lots of YouTube streaming chats, it gets very, very toxic. There's arguments within, there's moaning about people that are on the stream. I love our chat. I love our chat. Our chat, chill with each other, chat with each other, add really good ideas and talking points. There's occasionally bitching and whatever, but you get that everywhere. But I would say 98% of the time on Tottenham on Tour, the chat get on with each other, get on with us. We have fun with them. So again, I can't thank you guys enough. But what I wanted to do, and I hope this doesn't happen, because if it does, I'm going to have a lot of shit come my way, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I want to talk about now players. Let's start looking at players that potentially could come in to solve a problem. Not just, or we'll start talking about players that haven't been mentioned. But why I brought this up is Daryl Williams mentioned something. Should we get Cockerel on loan? Would be perfect for now. Now, before you go on about what you think of Cockerel and if that would be a good deal, if this happens, I am going to get a lot of people coming at me in a funny way, because people that will know my very good friend in Canada, Cody Mack, put a tweet out of Cucurella, just his facial shot, and said, "Brian, have you got a brother? Take the hair away and look at the face." And I swear to God, if I ever meet Cucurella, I want to get a DNA check, because I think I'm not joking. Everyone, if you've got the chance right now, just get a picture of Cucurella up and just take the hair. Just put your hands over the hair. I swear it's my face. I swear to even me, it is one of the most ridiculous. It's one of the most incredible lookalikes. I've been called. I look like Mora, Collini. I've had a lot. But if Cucurella comes to this football club, Cody is going to have a field day with me.
I've actually done it, and I can see it.
Mate, but now that you've seen it, you won't be able to unsee it. And I'm guessing 407 people might. Yep, we got Druella.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yep. Here we go. So
to him before with Cucurella, right? It's perfect. He could come. He could be able to come, and can you imagine him and Cootie? Cootie could come and can pull each other's hair in training. Yeah. Huh? That would be great, because there's no animosity between those two.
Big up, David, again. Get a big up, David. I really appreciate the support, and all the Australians, and we've had people from South Africa and India in here as well today. Everyone, let's see where everyone's from today. Let's see where we are. But yeah, there's a few people seeing it. I shouldn't have mentioned it.
Are they from Joburg? Hey.
Oh, look, we've got. I can see it. Yep. I think I've just done something silly.
Right, do you know what you need to do? You need to get a wig and head down to Hotspur Way. Go sign.
I think. Oh, jeez. I think. No, I'm not Iggy. Iggy, I'm not, mate. Jewish all the way, but if you go far, 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 far back with all my relatives, it goes back to Poland. On both sides of my family. But yeah, look, absolute spit. Look. Oh God.
There you go.
Look, I shouldn't have said it. I think I've got a new nickname coming my way. We've got Pakistan, New Zealand, London's here, Norfolk, Australia, got Iran, big up from Iran, Braintree, Wales, obviously MZ. We've got loads of Australians in. I love it when you say where you're from. Oh, now I've got another one. Do I look more like Cucurella or do I look more like Zabaleta?
He's been Zabaletta's mum.
This is she's like, but let's get back to
seen Zabaletta's mum.
But I'm telling you, if I see
Take the
Cucurella,
hair away.
I'm thinking that Cucurella might have one of those hearts that are cut in half, and my parents are holding on to the other one as a surprise. But no, David,
Yes.
if you could see any, let's try and pick some funny, random, out of the blue players. Thinking positions we need. Who would you say, or who would you be happy with, or who could you see
coming in? Oh.
Yeah.
Like out of the blue, like one that had shockers, basically.
Yeah, it could be one that you. Let's do it this way. Pick one out of thin air that you think will benefit the team, and think of one that you think could possibly come in.
Right. One that I think would benefit the team at the moment. Obviously, I know strikers is an easy one to pick, so I'll go for the defense. One I'd like, and he's available for not that much money, would be Hikampe. I think
mate,
he could benefit us.
How do you say he's not for much money when he's just signed a new contract like in January? Because he was number one. He's my number one. He's been since before the World Cup. I didn't know he signed a new contract, but I heard there was a rumor, something like 40 million or something, or is that way off? For me, the Ecuadorian Hikampe is just like unbelievable. Left back, left centre back. But again, he is not going to come and sit on the bench. That is the problem. If of course. If you can't get Tosin to come and sit on the bench.
Look who's in the house. Look who's in the house. Tottenham on Tour's very own Danny Kiriakou is in the building. Danny, I'm hoping you can get on the shows later on today, brother. I hope you're good. I hope you're well. I love you dearly. Okay, so you've got Hikampe as you're out there. Which one could you see sneaking through the table? And I have to say, I need to find Daniel Levy has that Men in Black thing that erases everyone's mind. I need to get one and forget to tell people that I don't look like Cucurella because I've done something silly here. But yeah, go
on. One that I'd hope, and I think would be, something that would make the fan base a little happy because obviously we've been linked with him for so long, and I know currently it's completely off, but it's Orban. One to do that. He's not that much money. He could benefit the squad, and it's a position we really need. And I think he'd easily bench Richarlison coming in because he is a goal scorer. And like I said, I've said on a previous podcast, he reminds me a bit of like a Defoe. And with the way we play, that would work very well.
Do you mean he's short?
What's that?
Do you mean he's short?
But he's not, is he? But you know what I mean? I'm on about his style of play, his ability to run fast, with the ball and stuff like that. But he's good in the air. He can find positions really well, and he's not afraid to take the ball, hold it up, and go against another player. Whereas Richarlison, he's always got his back to goal. He's never facing the goal. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully that's one I'd like to see. At the, at the end of the window, we just go throw it in, and he comes.
Yeah, but I think Danny's hit the nail on the head with.
Well, I mentioned it before, didn't I?
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Koche was the one. Again, we shouldn't be waiting for Borussia Dortmund's deal to fall apart. We should have been there. We're in the Premier League. Southampton have been relegated. We should have been all over it like a rash. And that's one that Spurs have not said in the news. Spurs are all over it like a rash.
Right, just to quickly jump in, it's just come out now. I don't know if anyone knows him, Paul O'Keefe on Twitter.
Yeah.
Apparently breaking Tottenham and Nottingham Forest are getting closer on the fee for Brennan Johnson.
It's going to get done, I said to you, David. I was told it would get done today for around 30 mil.
Yeah, and apparently, I know this isn't obviously Spurs, but Cole Palmer has signed a 7-year deal with Chelsea.
7+1.
How are they getting away with this?
I don't know. I don't know.
I was told it's 7+1, David, yesterday, or 2.
8-year contract, 8 years.
Listen, could there be a return in
Spurs?
Spurs?
That is slavery. That is down to slavery.
Could there be a Spurs return for someone like a Marcus Edwards, Carl Walker-Peters, the other one, I can't remember what Audio said.
No, the one that should come back, Brian. They're all talking about Gift Auburn coming back because he's like fantastic. Well, the number one striker right now in Belgium is the great Vincent Janssen. We should bring him back. We could get him on a good deal.
I have to say, do you know
he's
what?
Belgium's top scorer. What's the problem?
Could you imagine? I'm being serious now. Could you imagine if that happened? If that happened, this fact that honestly, people would still find an excuse to say, "Oh yeah, we'll welcome you back. Second time lucky."
I've followed him since I was a kid.
my God. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Bella Ketchup. I keep saying Bella Ketchup. Bella Ketchup. I can't, mate. It rolls off the tongue. It's like when I go to say post, I can't help but say pot, so I don't do it anymore. But yes, the deadline day seems like it's in full swing. It looks like
it's still available, Brian, though, on loan.
Yeah, but he wants to sign a new contract.
Not to be ruled out.
Mate, do you know what, football? I would welcome this in a goddamn heartbeat, and I'm not even joking. My love for that man, I would take him back, and if I took him back, I would get him on a coaching deal as well, and keep him there for when he retires, because I absolutely love it. Colin, yeah, let's go for a Fraser Campbell reunion. How old is he now? He was like very, very young when we got him. But seriously, right, as we're getting ready to wrap up, because we're going to be making our way to the coffee house, we're going for another 10 minutes. People, how many coming in today? How many going out? Johnny?
What's that? Sorry, I just
incomings, outgoings, how many?
Well, we'll clear the deck and we'll get back in, I don't know. We'll get in 2, I reckon.
2. And when you say clearing out, how many are you going for? And people in the chat, what's your thoughts?
I think we'll get rid of 3.
So what are you going for? 2 in, 3 out. Okay. David?
Yeah, before I answer that, just a quick one. Renee's have made a €12 million offer for Davinson Sanchez, apparently. But for me, I think we'll get 3 out, like Johnny said, but I think we'll get 3 in, personally.
You reckon?
I reckon. I think we'll get 3 in.
Okay, I am going for Brennan Johnson. Does look like it's getting done, and Johnny, you said you've got it on. So we've got to believe that's 1 in. All right, I'm going to go 2 in, 4 out. But wait, before we say that, are we including in this 4 out Tanganga and Regulon, who's already gone? So is that another 2 out today, or are you talking an additional 3, Johnny and David? Let's do it from now, as of right here. So Tanganga, we can say gone, Regulon gone. Transfer deadline day.
Right, so extras. I'm trying to work out who's left. Is Eric Dyer still chained to the radiator at Hotspur Way?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not sure. Sugar. I think we might do a loan to buy option. I think there could be a third where it's a loan with an option to buy. I'm going to go for that potentially. It all depends if Højbjerg goes, Brian.
Yep.
I've got to be honest with you. If Højbjerg goes, then I can see a Gallagher coming in. If he doesn't, I can just see Lloyd Grossman coming in with what's his name? Brennan Johnson.
There you go. So Ryan's just updated. Spurs waiting to put the bid in. They want outgoings. 2 other Premier League clubs want Johnson, Brentford plus 1 other mystery club. And I hate to say, from what Colin said as well, that could be the enemy down the road. That could well be the enemy down the road. David, again, your outgoings, does your number change? Because we're only talking right here, right now.
Right here, right now, I still think 3 because I think Lloris will go. I believe Højbjerg will end up going before the window closes. I think he will. And the other one will be Eric Dyer. I think Dyer will leave it before the end of the window. That's
Can
my
I ask you,
view.
how do you think Lloris is going to go?
Personally, I think we'll
mutually
agree.
Because I can't see him. I literally don't know how he's going to go out.
I think we're going to mutually agree to end his contract. I think what Levy's doing is what he always does, is still trying to get money. I mean, Lloris, regardless of what he was last season and the mistakes he's made, he's been a servant to the club, right? He's been the captain for how many years? And the fact is that he was openly wanting to go. At the start of this window, the second the season ended, he was like, I want to leave Tottenham. The last day of the window, we're still sitting here, and Levy is trying to still get some form of money for him. I hope he has his contract mutually agreed to be ended, and he can go and find whatever club he chooses.
Okay, so what we've got to look at as well is, let me first say, I've said it all along. I actually think, I don't know why, I think Hugo Lloris is going to end up in the MLS. Will it happen today? I don't know. But I've said it all along. There's been France. There was like, will he go to Saudi? I've got a big feeling he's going to end up in the MLS. What we've got to look at now, though, is...
But what do you do, Brian? Sorry, just like, you sell Sanchez for 12 million to rent, and then you've got to spend 30 million to buy somebody decent. And,
so Johnny, this is exactly where I was going, bro. This is exactly,
sorry.
If you, that's fine, mate. That's fine. Yeah. If you look at it, Reguilon, Tanganga gone. Sanchez looks like there will be activity with Sanchez today. So that's 3 defenders gone, and we were saying we already needed a defender before these 3 went.
Correct.
So now we're looking at this, and it comes to the point where, is there any defender talk from us? Well, is this Lloyd Kelly going to gather pace? Is there one in the? Is Bella Koch Where are we going defensive wide?
Well, Bella Koch is a signing. Look, Ashley Phillips is going to be an absolute star, right? Okay, I believe that. Left foot, right foot, pace, power. He's got everything. Dorrington is going to be a star. I think those 2 will be our centre back future. I think Kuti will have enough of this bullshit at this club and leave come January or next summer, and we will rue the fact that he's gone. But I believe those 2 will come in the future. But we live in the here and now, and if we get an injury to Kuti or to Mickey van der Ven, I fear for us. And if we get rid of Højbjerg and we're left with Skip, I fear for us. And if Richie gets injured or when Song goes off, I fear for us. This is like a coal. I know he's up at court on Tuesday, our dear leader, right? But this is crimes against football if we actually get rid of all these players and we don't have any backup. I just honestly, because it can only be about saving money and getting money off the books. Tosin's the one I would prefer above.
Same here. Tosin is the one I want.
Yeah.
Tosin is the one I want. But I've got to come back to you, Dave. Do you seriously think, after all this nonsense, what a great way to put it. MZ, why have I not thought of that? Thank you, MZ. Exactly. Please hit the like button if you leave you out. That will help. That'll help. Or the way that MZ said it. You really have a thought that Dyer could leave. Now, obviously, that's you got a feeling it could happen today?
Yeah, I do. I don't think, you know what I mean, Levy is going to be, well, I wouldn't say stupid enough, but we know Dyer has issues with the club. We've seen it all this window, you know what I mean? He's not getting any game time, and it's only going to be worse for him is the fact that he's got a lot of negativity around him, and to sit on the bench for an entire season, it's just going to hinder him even more. And I don't even think he's that stupid. So I think we'll see a loan deal for him, and that's how I think he'll go out. Even though I know we don't want a loan deal, we want an actual sale, but I can't see anyone wanting to buy him unless we use him in a swap deal. I've seen someone put in the comments, Højbjerg and Dyer for Tosin. I mean,
they'll be getting the better deal. Sorry, we'll get the better player, but I think Højbjerg is worth more market value-wise, not saying player-wise. Market-wise, because of his experience, his contract length. We got Tosin the final year of his contract. I've got to think of something. Right, we're going to wrap up in 5 minutes. There's 450 here. I've been known to do a stupid thing or two.
Brian, can we have the scoreboard?
I'll do that in a second, John. Right at the end, brother. But what I'm going to say is I have made big statements on YouTube and had to follow up with them. One of them being, if Antonio Conte comes to Tottenham Hotspur, I will get "We Are Tottenham" TV tattooed on my arm. There it is. If Tottenham finished in the top 4 the year Conte came, I'd get Tottenham on tour tattooed on my arm. I did. So these come true now. I can't make any more tattoo bets because I'll probably end up with a divorce. But if Dyer goes today, I'm prepared to do something stupid at Ben's coffee house, but within reason, people, within reason. So whilst I find out the likes, if anyone's got any stupid, crazy, doable dares for me to do live on air, let me know. And if we end off, put it in the comments afterwards. And if Dyer goes, I'll pick one and I will do it.
Can I just say, Brian, just as a late thing, the two players, I was told there was 2 players that Forest were interested in. Well, 3 actually at the time. Spence didn't obviously want to go back.
Yeah.
It now seems that Davinson Sanchez refused to go to Forest, and that was the player that was part of the deal to go. Davinson Sanchez for Forest as part of the Brennan Johnson deal.
Yep. So it looks like the one that's come in is get a Cucurella wig and wear it and put it as my profile picture.
I was literally going to say that, right? I was going to say that before put it in.
I've had people do shots of Express saying do shots. Colin, I put it this way, mate. Where is Colin gone? I'll tell you a funny story to end off on. When I used to live in Israel, and this was near the height of my alcohol abuse, I went on a massive 4-day bender, like 6 days before my parents were coming to visit me in Israel. And you know, when you're lads and you've been on a bender and you fall asleep, if you fall asleep first, some crazy stuff might happen. I woke up with half my head shaved, and I had not a Cucurella full head of hair, but I had hair. So the half that wasn't shaved, they shaved my eyebrows, half my moustache, half my beard off. They put eggs all over me, like cracked eggs all over me. Got a pen and tattooed loads of stuff over me, and on the bottom of my leg, on my calf, they wrote, "Brian is a gooner, once a gooner, always a gooner." I woke up, saw my hair, wasn't pissed off. Saw half my face had been shaved off, wasn't pissed off. Saw the eggs, wasn't pissed off. Saw the pen tattoos, looked down at my leg and saw "once a gooner, always a gooner," whatever the word was to that effect. I smashed his house up. I won't wear. I would rather get a tattoo on my head and risk the grief I would get than have anything Arsenal on my body. So that is completely, totally, and utterly out of the question. It's a lovely thought, but it is never, ever, ever going to happen. I've seen do shots of espresso at Ben's coffee house. Mate, do you know what? If it wasn't for what my wife and family would say, I would be more than prepared to do that.
Mm-hmm.
For that phrase, I would be more than happy to do it. But the shots of espresso, that's pretty much guaranteed anyway when we're at Ben's coffee house, because that's all I drink when I'm there. And talking of Ben's coffee house, Johnny and I need to start making our way to our location, but keep getting your thoughts, your dares in if Dyer comes in. If the Cucurella one is winning, so I will follow through with that. I'll just have to go and get one. But David, thank you for joining us, brother. Where can people find you?
Right, well, everyone can find me over on Tottenham All. We're a newish podcast, a great bunch of lads. We try and put out as much content as possible. We'll be getting some out later on for transfer near the end of it. And and if you want to find me personally, I am Rodrigo Roadman on Twitter.
There you go,
Thank
brother.
You Johnny,
there's a fab tweet apparently. Can someone? I'm just doing the like. Can someone check out for Fabrizio Romano?
Negotiations between Tottenham and Nottingham Forest with Brennan Johnson are advancing. Understand deal now getting closer. No agreement in place yet, but contacts ongoing to make it happen later today. Brennan's green light to move also there.
All right, so it is gathering pace, and thank you, Ash7, for letting us know. Johnny, where can people find you?
can find me at Twitter, JohnnyH3232. Come and give me a follow. I need to get my followers back. God knows what happened to Twitter. Big Elon I actually had a purge on my account for some unknown reason, and I lost about 500 followers. Don't know what happened. Give us a follow there, JohnnyH3232. And you can also follow me, find me, should I say, on Andrew Management and Tottenham on Tour. There we go.
Exactly.
And David, good to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you. I'm loving it. This show's fantastic. And yeah, Brian, you created a great community, mate. So yeah, thank you for bringing me in on it.
That's all right, buddy. It's everyone on the channels community and everyone. Listen, the over 400 people we had, always a blessing, privilege, and honor to have you in. And thanks for being so nice in the chat and enjoying the show and staying with us. We have had over 400 people in. We are up to 244 likes. We're up to the 50%,
liking, guys,
which is phenomenal. Guys, we're off to the coffee house. We'll be going up. We'll be popping up all day. David will be up with us at some point later on today as well. But if anyone can and wants to join us at the coffee house, we are going to be there till 11, 12 p.m., whatever it is today. You can find us. The nearest train station is Woodford train station on the Central Line. If you can get there by your own travel. If you go back to our little promo video we did yesterday, it's about 6 minutes long. The address comes up on there so you can get that in. Come and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. So on this deadline day,
No!
Owen, gone. Oh, he's back in the room.
I don't know what's going on with my Instagram.
Back in the room.
Thank God we're going to the coffee house where I ain't going to have to put up with this. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, Levy out.